Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. If you're in the stream, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Like the stream so we can push this into the algorithm. We can see this and get the conversation going. Testing, 1, 2, 3. You already know what time it is. Vibe Season Sports checking back with another video, but this one's gonna be a little bit different. This is gonna be a live stream. Testing everything out. Got some equipment. Not too shabby. Well, we gonna see how this is gonna work out. Got a couple things that been on my mind this week. A couple things that some people have discussed on other channels that I wanted to discuss. So let's just hop into it. Warren Sapp. Is this a good or bad move? To be honest, I'm not really sure yet. I'm not really sure yet. And one of my biggest questions for Warren Sapp is, are you really passionate about this? Or are you just doing this because it's the end thing to do? Because Coach Prime is in the limelight and that's your boy. But are you really passionate about this? That's my question to you, Warren Sapp. But one thing I do know, Warren Sapp is a wild boy. He is a wild man. And I was born in 92. This is what I will say. I was born in 92. I know who Warren Sapp is. I know how dynamic he was, and I know how much of a threat he was on the field. I grew up watching him. I grew up with him playing Madden. But if you ask a kid today who was born in 2000, 2001, 2002, I'm not sure if they know who Warren Sapp is. They're going to have to Google him. And this is probably what they're going to see. I'm probably just going to play a little bit of this, but this is who Warren Sapp is. But shout out to Python Cowboy for the video. Pretty cool channel. But anyways, Warren Sapp. I'm interested to know, are you really going to get your hands dirty and work with these kids? Not only on the field, but off the field. Are you going to see a kid that has trouble and be like, hey, look, I'm going to take you under my wing. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to show you how to be a professional. Or are you going to be quick to go fishing? And I don't knock Warren Sapp. I'm a huge fan. Like I said, I watched him growing up, born in 92, know exactly who he is. But the only reason why I bring up the passion is because I know who's passionate on this team. I know who's passionate on this team. That's who's passionate. This is who's passionate on that defensive coaching staff. There's no question about it. You can see he'll put his life on the line for these kids, and he'll do whatever it takes. And I see you, Jeanette Fox, in the comment section. Hello. She said, what makes you think that he's not? I didn't say he wasn't. I'm just asking you if he is. Are you really passionate? Because I don't question Nick Williams' passion. Not at all. This is passion. This is teaching. You can't question Coach Nick Williams and what he does on his team, because he's going to put it all on the line. And you can see in the comment section, people agree. Very first comment is pinned. It's a negative comment, but it's called the pin of shame. But we'll go over that later. But you can see people know he's passionate. People know he's going to do whatever it takes. And to be honest, that's just my question to Warren Sapp. That's just my question to you, bro. But if you have any opinions, leave them in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Just going over a couple of comments. Going over a couple of topics as well. Is that because you see him in the role and he's interacting with the team? I mean, it's actually pretty ironic, because in this clip, you can see Warren Sapp in the background. Warren Sapp is actually in the background. But I have no issues. I have no issues with Warren Sapp. I have no issues what he brings to the table. He's a legend. Gold jacket. But is he passionate about this? Or is it just a fad because it's Coach Prime? I'm curious to know. But like I said before, leave your comments in the comment section. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Next topic. David talks Buffs versus Matt McChesney. And this one is a little bit sticky. This one's a little bit sticky. Because granted, I haven't talked to David Tossbus about this. Granted, I haven't talked to him one-on-one in about a month and a half. But I thought this was pretty interesting because David Talks is actually a pretty good guy. Actually a pretty cool dude. He's actually one of the first people to reach out to me on YouTube when I had like 16 subscribers. And he was like, bro, I see your talent. I see what you're doing. Keep doing your thing, man. You're going to blow up. I mean, that's what happened. I mean, that's not really what happened, but he told me to keep doing my thing. And the progression is there. We're still working. But it's not about me. It's about us. With that being said, I don't even really do it for the subscribers, for the subscriber count. I do it for each subscriber that tunes into the channel. It's not about the subscriber count. But anyways, David Talks Bus versus Matt McChesney. This one does get a little bit sticky. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know too much about what happened with this because, like I said, I haven't really talked to David about it. And I hope you do see this, David, and I probably will reach out to you soon. But I'm pretty sure this was about Jason Whitlock, and people having issues with Jason Whitlock in his show. A lot of Colorado fans tuning in, going on the show, talking. And David said what he had to say. David had some words, and Matt McChesney responded. And I'll read what he had to say. If you write my name and don't tag me, but still follow me as you've asked for me to be on your show, maybe you should shut the F up, David Talks Buffs. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Maybe you should shut the F up, David Talks Buffs. Oh my God. You can't talk to my bro like that, man. You can't talk to my bro like that. You can't talk to my bro David like that, man. That's not, nah. David's a good dude. David is a cool dude. And he proceeded to say, rather, I love to come on your show and drop black and gold on your ass. That's what he should have said, actually. But he said on you. Assuming you know my heart and intentions is what's funny. Not one other buff will go on Jason Whitlock's show. But I'll talk to anyone at any time. So when do you want me to be on your show, Daddy? I'm just kidding. He said Dave. But that's how that went. And I'm like, bro, like it's really not that serious, but I understand. And I respect both of these parties because essentially they did squash the beef. David had Matt on his show. And it was a pretty good show. He had some really good questions. He had some really good responses. And one thing he said that really got to me. He said he's not afraid of anybody. When he sees somebody that has a different opinion than him, he's going to look him in the eye and tell him that they're wrong, or give him his opinion and tell him what it is. I know what he means when he says he walks into a facility and people look down and don't look him in the eye. Because I truly believe he is about that life. And going back to what I said before, passion. He has the passion. He has the passion. I saw the interview. I don't like Whitlock either. They had a misunderstanding. I mean, I saw both interviews with Jason Whitlock and David Talks Buffs. Whitlock seemed like he wasn't really interested in the discussion. He didn't really ask too many questions. Matt McChesney was talking the whole time, but he said what he had to say, and he didn't say too much. He didn't say too much. He said all he had to say. But I thought it was pretty interesting. But like I said before, just going back to passion. There's no question that Matt McChesney has passion. There's no question that he cares about the kids and that he's going to do what it takes for this team to be successful. And that's just what it is. And that's just my question to Warren Sapp. Are you passionate about this? Are you passionate about coaching, not just about football? I'm not sure, but I guess we'll see. And next, Jesus Christ, Sean Lewis. He's gone, dog. He's gone. He's gone, dog. Sean Lewis is out of there. But it's pretty funny because a lot of people said that Sean Lewis was going to leave before the season even started. Analysts said it. Fans said it. I'm curious to know if Shadur knew that. I'm curious to know if Deion Sanders knew that. I mean, I'm sure they did. But my question to Sean Lewis is, when did you know that? Did you know before the season? Some people said he knew after the TCU game. Some people said he knew by the UCLA game. I think he knew before the season, to be honest. I think he knew before he was out of there. I think he knew he was out of there before the season. Jeanette said, I won't listen to Whitlock at all. Yeah, I mean, to each his own. He has his own community. I don't knock it. He says what he has to say. You're right. We just got to wait and see. But Sean Lewis, like, when did you know, bro? When did you know you was leaving? I want to know. I'm curious. Because I would answer a lot of questions. Did you know before the season? And if you did, that'll answer a lot of questions that the fans have. I mean, of course, we don't know what goes on in those rooms with the coaching staff. That's just what it is. We don't know. But it's interesting because Sean Lewis went 24-31 at Kent State. Interesting, huh? 24-31 at Kent State, but got to the team for his first bowl win in 2019 after a 2-10 record. The year before, Kent State went 3-1 during the COVID-shortened 2020 season. Sheesh. (24-31). And I watched some of the film from the games. And granted, he did do well. He did have a good offense. He did have a fast offense. He did have players that could mesh well with this offense and make plays and make the scheme look good. But overall, you were pretty even with the teams that you face in your conference. But when it came to Power 5 play, when it came to playing teams like Oklahoma, that offense didn't work. That offense did not work. It was exposed. So I'm curious to know how they thought this would work at Colorado, how this offense will work at Colorado. Granted, they had better players, but still, that offense didn't work against Power 5 teams. What makes you think it was going to work in the Pac-12? But these are just thoughts. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just want to know when he knew. When did you know, bro? I just want to know. When did you know? And it may come out. It may not come out. But that's just me. 24-31. I wish him the best. But who did he play? What do you mean by that? Who did he play? Who did Sean Lewis play in the conference? Who did he play? Kent State University. What conference are they in? They're in the MAC. But even with that, how can you expect to go from the MAC to the Pac-12? And this was my original thought. This is what I thought. Okay. First 3 games, I'm like, okay. Sean Lewis is doing his thing. He's calling a really good game. TCU game was a great calling game. He called a wonderful game. Masterpiece almost. Second game, I was like, all right, cool. Very nice. But I'm interested to know when you're going to open up the offense. Third game, bet. Same thing, but we still won. Cool. Fourth game, tossed. That we're not even going to talk about that. But I'm like, okay, once we get into conference play, Sean Lewis is going to open up the offense. Maybe he's just holding back a little bit, you know what I'm saying, until we get into conference play. We got into conference play, it was the same thing. It was the same plays. It was the same scheme. He was using the same plays and just plugging different players in. There was no packages for singular players. But like I said, I wish him the best. I hope he does well. And you're right, Nick. Big 12 schedule is pretty tough. I don't think the Big 12 is going to be as easy as people think. Because there are teams in that conference that know what it takes to win in that conference. They've been in there already. But what I will say, Colorado lost in every way possible this season. They lost in a close game. They lost by a field goal. They lost by heartbreaker. They lost every possible way this season. So it's a learning lesson. It's a learning lesson. You have to remember he was recommended to Coach Prime. By who? By who? Because if it's all about relationships, did he know Sean Lewis? I don't think so. I don't think he knew Sean Lewis, to be honest. Old school said, hey, they're here. No, you don't. That's funny. Hey, old school, I seen you in a couple of streams. You're a pretty funny dude, man. I'd love for you to come on the show. I should drop the invite in the stream, but I never really thought this would even last as long. So matter of fact, I don't even know how to do that. So, but if you're in the stream, make sure you like, comment, so it doesn't go out into the algorithm. Have a good discussion. Talk about a few things. We talked about Warren Sapp. He did not know Lewis personally. I don't think he did. Because if he did, him and Shador would have a way better relationship. Like, we all have eyes. We all could see how that relationship was. It wasn't healthy. There was a report that Shador even pushed him on the sideline. I don't believe that, but you can tell it wasn't a healthy relationship. But in the media, Shador and Sean Lewis said all the things they needed to say to appease each other. They never said anything negative about each other. I already did. What you mean by that, bro? You already did what? But we can see the relationship between Sean Lewis and Shador. And that brings up another question. Who's going to be the offensive coordinator? Pat Shurmur? Because he's kind of vanilla to me. Pro-style offense, but we could do better. There's a higher ceiling. What did you see? Y'all gotta. Oh, what did I see? What you mean by it? You gotta elaborate. You gotta elaborate. But San Diego State. When I originally saw this, I thought it was UNLV. But San Diego State. Pretty interesting. I wish him the best. Hope he does well. But it'll be crazy if they have a better season in Colorado next season. And I'm interested to know what coaches he's going to bring on his coaching staff and what players he's going to bring in. Because I do believe he learned something from Colorado. It maybe not have been his style, but he probably learned a lot from Colorado. The social media aspect, how to recruit and bring in players. But it just wasn't the right fit, bro. It just wasn't the right fit. Like I said before, we talked about Warren Sapp. Talked about the crazy beef between David Talks Buffs and Matt McChesney that has been squashed. I'll probably text David about this tomorrow. But I hope he's not upset. But geez. Sean Lewis going to San Diego State. That's just what it is. Like I said before, leave your comments in the comment section. This is the first stream. This is kind of like a test stream to see how this really works. Still learning how to work everything, but I think I'm doing okay. It's not that difficult. Hopefully, we'll be able to take calls in the near future and have a conversation with people who feel a way or want to express themselves about the season or what has happened. Or maybe their thoughts or what they're mad about. But who knows, man? Who knows? So you good with him leaving? He should have left sooner. I mean, that's debatable. Can't really concur, but I just want to know when. When did he know? When did he know he was leaving? I think he knew before the season, bro. He knew he was leaving. He knew he was leaving before the season. But that's just my personal opinion. If you guys have any thoughts, let me know. Like I said before, just a test stream. It's crazy. This stream wasn't even supposed to go live. I was supposed to pre-record it, and it was supposed to go live tomorrow. But I was like, whatever, and I'm going to just do it. Just flow with it. I ain't got nothing written down. Just improv pretty much. But I appreciate you, Jeanette Fox, old school, for being in the chat. Like I said before, I'm going to be doing live streams more often. And with that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're going to end this stream with that and leave your comments below.